Look at this. Do you know what that is? It's snow. How do I know? I checked the Weather Network. For over 22 years, Canadians from coast to coast to coast have been obsessed not just with the weather, but with what the people at the Weather Network are saying about the weather. And today, I join the most distinguished fraternity in broadcasting. I become a TV weatherman. And here I am standing on the beautiful grounds of the Weather Network, overlooking the scenic 403, and look who it is. It is the Weather Network's weekend weatherman, Chris St. Clair. Hello, Chris. How are you?
A pleasure to meet you.
Good to see you, sir. You are the weekend weatherman. You are a huge star.
Well, I'm the weekend weatherman.
People love you. They love you.
Well, they love weather is what they love.
Why are Canadians so obsessed with the weather?
You know, I think it's because there's nothing we can do about it. I think we love watching somebody else suffer through bad weather. Well, we're not. Or we love suffering through bad weather and showing it off to everybody.
Right, which is why Toronto will be filled with shame forever for bringing in the army when it snowed once.
I think that will never, ever be forgotten.
Never go away. The rest of the country will never let them forget that.
And that's too bad, isn't it?
Really it is. And now we're inside the Weather Network. We're standing next to, I guess, the control room?
That is the control room.
Yes.
That's where it all happens.
How many people work here at the old Weather Network?
400.
400 people. See,
Yes.
I just assumed you would go to Environment Canada and then just put on a nice suit and stand on a set and just read the Environment Canada forecast in a nice voice.
We could have done that, but we went one step further and we brought in our own forecasting team here. And so we look at Environment Canada's information, which is very good, and sometimes we augment it a little bit and we do our own forecast.
Do you have your own weather station?
We have our own weather station. We have our own forecast center. It's upstairs, and that's where the meteorologists are working.
Now, this is where they shot the movie Tron. But this is where the magic is going to happen, correct?
Right here.
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do the weather. How important is it to know where it is you're pointing on the map? Because, well, as the people at home can see, there's nothing there. You're actually pointing into nothingness.
Yeah, so it's really important to know where everything is. And then when you point, you need to point with a certain sense of authority, too.
St. John's, Sydney.
Winnipeg will be -18, but mostly sunny, and a mild day at -7 in Toronto.
So, didn't mean to touch you in your no-no place. And now I'm up on charges. And here we have the jet stream. Maybe that's what I should do. And never mind the weather, I should say, oh, looking over here at Corner Brook, Humber, that's Danny Williams' riding. That's a hotly contested riding. There's 19 people going for the nomination there. No one knows what's going to happen. Then we move into Gander area. That's held federally by Scott Sims, who used to be a weatherman here at the Weather Network. He's a fine fellow. He's about that tall. And then we have St. John's, Newfoundland, of course. That's where everyone lives. And it's freezing, and Dad's complaining about the weather, and I've never heard him complain before, so that can't be good. Plus his leg hurts. That's kind of like a weather.
That was good. See, that works perfectly in Canada.
Yeah.
And there's likely to be patchy freezing rain to the south as well. So be careful driving through all of this.
Have you ever thought of naming a weather system after living Canadians?
That's a good idea, but
Like
no.
John Beard. Like a big, bombastic wind coming in off the oceans.
No, there is.
Call it a John Beard weather system is coming in.
Meanwhile, east of the Rocky Mountains.
Or Tony Clement. What would that be?
I'm not sure.
Weak. A weak weather system. You wouldn't even notice it, really? Does it bother you that people have all of these common misconceptions? Like, it drives me nuts when they go, oh, you must be used to cold weather. You grew up in Newfoundland. You go, no, we don't get cold weather like Ottawa. Ottawa's brutal, razor blades up your nose cold. But, you know, for people who are so obsessed about weather, we have all these misconceptions about weather.
We do have a lot, and I think that's part of the role of weather presenters across the country.
That's what you do.
Is to help people understand. More stormy weather is in your forecast for the next couple of days, and it's important that you stay with us to stay up to date on the weather.
I don't know if I can do this.
I think you can do this.
You sure there's nothing I could just put on a harness and you could dangle me off something?
So we'll just start at the desk, see how it goes.
Okay.
And I could leave you, and then you could throw it to me at the wall. Yeah, Cody, here. Throw up a map. I'll show you how to use it. Here we go. Your weather watch is continuing, and we have a host in training. Mr. Rick Mercer is joining us today, learning how to do the weather.
I certainly am.
Now, with snow coming into
Commuters on the western end of the GTA call it Sorry.
He's going to read the news for us in a second, too. Do you know what we're going to teach him how to do? We're going to teach you how to use the code illustrator.
Commuters on... Sorry.
You know, look, watch. We're going to do a split screen. Okay, now touch anywhere.
Oh, it's windy in Ottawa. In Peterborough, it's windy.
Let's do some thunderstorms.
In Niagara Falls, it's windy. Nothing going on in Sarnia. If you're in Sarnia, tweet me. Tell me what's going on in Sarnia, because right now, according to what's the name of the computer?
Code illustrator.
Hal says nothing's going on in Sarnia.
I'm going to leave you to do the news.
Commuters on the western end of the GTA polished up their winter skills this morning. A narrow streamer off Lake Ontario brought heavy snow.
And then Montreal, well, it's cold, but at least the roads were a little bit on the clearer side. Let's take a look at what's going on in Ontario. Rick Mercer has just floated into the radar. Oh my gosh, that's creepy. Rick, he's learning the weather wall.
Snow the size of cereal. Snowflakes the size of cereal. It's a weather buffet.
This would be the most terrorizing weather event that you would ever have. Rick Mercer floating around with some lake effect snow. If you're wondering what he's doing, so this wall is green and behind us, and he's got this green
invisibility cloak.
This is like a Harry Potter cloak, and as you can see, it works quite beautifully. I like it right over his head. I think that works quite beautifully.
Now, what would you consider high winds?
Oh, 80 to 100 kilometers an hour, and that's what we're seeing in Gander today on the North Shore. 100 kilometers an hour.
100-kilometer-hour winds.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.